Instagram, so it's gonna preview, then we're gonna go live. Just give it a, just take like a, see, hold up. It's connected.
I'm glad it's cool down here at least. It's not sweating down.
Preview, then we're gonna go live. Just give it a,
Yeah, I'm gonna press go live, okay?
see, hold up. It's connected.
All right, we are live. Welcome to Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. I am so excited today, not only because it was my birthday yesterday. You can see I'm forever young, but because we are doing a face-to-face reunion now. There's still more people to come, but we're gonna get started with this original crew. A lot of these people you may remember. You're watching on Instagram or YouTube. You can always go back and check out the previous shows. Not right now, but later. You can check out the previous shows that got them here. They've already been having this debate on which season was the best. Which season was the best?
The blueprint. The one blueprint.
We are Friday. Check the data. We are Friday.
The blueprint is always the best.
So the blueprint.
Everything you after the blueprint.
Okay, I don't know how to stop them now, but this is what you're in for. It's going to be a really great thing. So they are going to introduce themselves, and then they're going to talk about their season. They should, at this point, remember who called them out and who they called out, and we're going to revisit all of those topics. They've already revisited one topic that I know is going to come back, and that was wanting a man versus needing a man. And so I might weigh in on that. And the audience, we do have an audience, and they can also weigh in at the end. We're going to make this be a very inclusive type of experience. So welcome to Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. And this is the face-to-face reunion. We have season 1 and season 2 here. So let's get them to introduce themselves first. Let's start with the blueprint, right?
So, we're the blueprint, so the first to go. I'm Erica Berry. I was one of the married ones on the original cast 1. I think my most controversial conversation was calling Dean out. He's not here with us today, but it was, should husbands and wives check in? And I totally agree. They should check in with each other.
Well, this is Sherwood, and I am of season 1. I'm the only male representing right now, and I don't have time to be debating which one was the best because everything is already written in the books. So all you got to do is just go look at the videos, go to Xavier Fox's page, and you'll see for yourself. You can let me know, but I know what the deal is. But I have no chimes. I don't recollect much of who I called out, but my purpose.
Did you find your clips?
No, I didn't even look for no clips. I don't follow those kind of directions. My purpose here today is to see if anything has changed in 10 years of filming, to see if my ideas or ideologies have changed and what I've learned through this time. So I'm very prepared and ready to do this.
Oh, Lord. All right, go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Tarita Buchanan, and I was in season 1. As I told season 2, we are Friday, and they are next Friday. All still good, but there has to be a first, and we were the first. I believe I called out Jeff, and the topic was, there's nothing wrong with having standards.
There's definitely not.
It's not.
All right, so now we're going to go on over to season 2.
I'm O'Kara Hollis, and I'm from season 2.
Woo-woo.
And look, we all know, you try something, you look at it, it's not quite right, so you decide to improve on it.
And that's why after God made man, then he made woman.
Oh, okay.
We are the improvement on season 2.
Oh, Lord.
Because they didn't quite get it right. So Xavier says, you know what, this is good, but I can always be better. And so there, we are better. I was called out because I said red hair was ghetto. and that I would not date anybody who had red hair.
They didn't even do that then.
Yeah, they did.
They did.
That ain't what you said, though.
No, that is what I said.
I don't remember you you saying
Be-
that?
because your memory's not as good as mine.
Ready, take.
But I said that, and I was called out for it.
You called out
And guess what? It still stands. There's some things I changed. I didn't change that. So.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, I am Dr. Nicole Armstrong. I am from season 2, and I will not jump into the debate on whether season 1 or season 2 is better. I would just say go and look at the numbers and decide for yourself. On season 2, I was called out for saying that I don't need a man, and I'm going to continue to say I don't need a man, I just want one.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Glad to be back here 11 years later. Glad to be in your presence. You know what? Both seasons were great because we were here, we were present, and we gave some good Black knowledge. So we're all the best. And as you can tell, I'm a social worker, so I try to see the positivity in everything. And on my segment, which was season 2, I think episode maybe 9 on the clips, I talked about the strong woman / attitude issue and how it doesn't work, but it's us men who caused you all to have to be that way. So when we start fixing ourselves, and then that would be the residual effect of us Black men working on ourselves is that Black women will feel safe enough to be in their feminine energy, and then it would work for the best of our families and our communities. So again, thank you for being here with us.
All right.
Y'all did.
Oh,
Y'all
let's
did hear.
Season 2 at its best.
Award-winning social worker.
Right.
We had one on our list. The bell.
Any Grammy,
Settle down. We were good.
NAACP winner.
My name is Rhea Ray Harris Yarbrough, and I didn't even know that there was a season 1. So now, and I'm not saying to be disrespectful. I'm serious. I had no idea.
She just saying it to be disrespectful.
I am not. So I am on season 2, and I don't remember what I was called out about, but whatever it was, I stood on it because that's who I am. That's how I operate.
Period.
So
Yeah.
we don't know where Xavier went, but we're ready to get started. Y'all ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right, so
Social worker.
I wanted to kick this off with the conversation so that we can get everybody, intrigued and involved into this conversation. So I think because we already kind of started this conversation upstairs, I think we're gonna go ahead and kick it off with, and see if the thoughts are the same on whether women want or need a man. What was your thing you got called?
So I was called out because someone said, y'all need us in season 2. And I said, no, we don't. We don't need you, we want you. And it was in relation to intimate partner. It was not just in relation to men in general, which I do agree, women need men and men need women. We're here to take care of each other. But in an intimate relationship, it's not a need. I need water. I need to eat food. I need air to breathe. I do not need a man.
And so your viewpoint is the same.
But I want one. It's not a need, it's just a want.
Do you remember who called you out on that?
One person.
Oh, it was on camera?
It was all the men. All the men.
We all
They
came
all
hard on
came
that.
for me.
We
They
all
all
came
came
here.
for me.
Okay, so would you still call her out on that, or have your views changed? Are you more of the understanding of why she may feel like that? Where are you at now with that? Because I see that you still have the same thoughts, right, Nicole?
I think it's a real convenience that she says we don't need, because okay, technically we only need food, air, water, and whatever, shelter or whatever in order to survive. But the reality is that human beings are interdependent on each other. We all need each other. And so for the sake of her mental and emotional health, if she had a good man. She does need that. Now, the thing is that she probably doesn't believe she can find a good man, or if she doesn't find a good man, then she decides that, okay, I don't need a bad situation. But the option is to be lonely, miserable, and unhappy.
So here, so it sounds like a mansplain to me, because we talked about on our season, all the women agreed that we wanted a man. We did not say we did not need one.
What happens?
And so when I say need, as for example, I have 3 children, I raised them on my own. I didn't need a man. I wanted one, but I have 3 grown children, 3 grandchildren, and they made it just fine without needing.
I have one question.
Excuse me,
I have
tap in,
no.
coach.
Hold on. I just have one question.
You win, sis. You win.
I have one question before I continue.
You know you got more than one question, but go
I got one question.
We'll give him this.
What happens to women when they don't get what they want? They are unhappy. Miserable.
What happens to a person? That's a person in general.
Okay, but it doesn't. Okay, whether it be a woman or whether a woman is a person, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's what we're talking about. What happens in life when you don't get what you want? You are unhappy, you are miserable, or you are whatever. Y'all can.
But what happens if you don't get what
I'm gonna tell you.
need?
Listen. Let me tell you something.
If you get what you need,
Then you die.
there you go.
If you don't get food, then
I'm
you
not
die.
gonna die.
But the point is
We're gonna die.
what did I say? I said the alternative is you unhappy, you are miserable,
That is not
and
the
you are whatever.
alternative. That is not
Listen,
the alternative.
Y'all
That is not the
can
alternative.
address this, or y'all can placate this, or y'all can do whatever you want with it. All you want to, but at the end of the day, when you are sitting there and you are alone and you are not with somebody that you want, what is happening?
You're not
is
gonna
Someone that I
when
want,
you-
not me.
when you
You just said it
oh,
yourself.
time out.
Someone I
When-
want,
listen.
not me.
When you are by yourself and you can't get what you want,
Want,
you are unhappy,
want,
you are miserable,
want,
and you feel lonely.
want,
That is what happens.
want.
So
Excuse me,
you
excuse
can
me.
go through life
Look,
and you can
Want.
state it however you want to.
Okay.
I don't get what I don't have a man because I don't want a man, or because he didn't do whatever, or I don't need a man. But your alternative is this: unhappiness,
And miserable.
loneliness, and misery.
Okay, we've heard that. Time out.
Miserable.
Excuse me, tap in.
That's the
You in, sis.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
You've been in.
You know, first of all, I hear this all the time, and it's we're now have matured from 10 years ago.
Some of us.
Self-fulfillment is not equated with loneliness, because when you know who you are, loneliness is a state of mind. Because when you come to a place of understanding who you are and being happy on purpose, because it's a choice. Happiness is a choice. It's not that because someone is not in my life, I'm not being fulfilled. Everyone has a different perspective of what fulfillment is. So whatever fulfills you is not, that will help you to be able to accept where you are. I'm single and I'm never alone, because it's a whole plethora of how y'all doing. They on the sideline that I can choose, but that's not what I'm choosing for myself. I'm fulfilled. I found fulfillment in waking up every day. And I think my perspective have changed in so many ways, because a couple of years ago, we lost 8 family members, our aunt being 52, and life is for the living, and regardless of where you are in your life, whether you're married, divorced, widow, or in a committed relationship or single, it's the fulfillment of enjoying life where you are in that space you're in. Just because you're doing it in a singular sense doesn't equate with being lonely and miserable and unhappy, because there are so many unhappy and lonely, miserable individuals
And
in
I
City
in
Limits.
relationships
That in relationships.
and marriages they don't want to
That
be.
in
Everything they don't want to be in. So it's the whole debate about that. It's the fulfillment in oneself, because when you become to know who you are, your perspective on life changes a lot. When you begin to appreciate life, we don't have time to waste time. The expectancy of life is 78 years. What are you going to do at this moment? You're going to not live your life because you're not with someone that you want. Sometimes the people that you want is not the people that are good for you. So what are you going to do? You're going to die because what you think you want, because sometimes we think what we want, and when we get it, we be looking. You ever dated someone years ago and you see them, I'm like, God, thank you.
Thank you,
gave me
Jesus.
Yes,
I
yes,
thought I wanted
absolutely.
at that time.
Yeah.
So your perspective in life changes as you mature in life, because the problem with people with that conception that whole outlook of where you're coming from, that perception of where you're coming from, I do know we are different individuals looking at different set of lenses, but coming from that, I feel like that's a person who don't know who they are.
May I respond?
Can I finish?
Oh, I didn't know, I thought you was done.
Okay, so we're gonna let O'Kara go and then
I'm
Shonda.
just gonna
I
respond
want
real
to
quick.
respond. Do you know who you are? I have a question.
I'm
May
gonna
I ask that
respond,
question?
okay? So, what you said is, I cannot disagree with what you said. But here's the reality. The reality is that the vast majority of people do not have that resolve. And so we can always talk about things in a single emotion. Maybe you have that resolve, and maybe that applies to you. But the vast majority of people do not have that resolve. The vast majority of people don't even understand and love themselves in the way that they can come to that conclusion and be good when they're happy. I mean, be good single when they're happy, and happy single. So it's nice to say everything is nice in the theory, but I don't live in theories. I live in reality. And so I see a lot of people on social media and walking around life who will say that theory, who will say, oh, I can be this, knowing damn well that ain't what they are though. And maybe you are, but everybody's not you.
But then do we have to?
Hold
live
on,
our
time
life
out,
based
no.
on what those
That's-
people?
Listen, I'm not, listen.
What about you?
You-
That's the question, because I can't speak for
Time out.
anyone.
I'm
So
good.
Joy gets time out.
Hold on. I'm good.
No, you're miserable. You're
No.
single.
Time out. Actually, hold on. Time out.
He's not single.
Actually, I'm not single.
You're married.
I'm not single. I have a girlfriend and me and her good. But even
everybody
if,
else that's
hold
single
on,
is
time out. Even if I'm not good, even if I didn't have a girlfriend, I've always been good by myself.
So
But-
you
but
understand
time
that
out,
the women are
time
miserable
out.
when they don't have a man.
See, that's the problem.
That's exactly
That's-
what you're saying.
That's
You're fine,
hold
but
on.
we're miserable.
Whenever I speak, I don't talk about myself. I don't talk about myself.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't talk about myself. If I see something, if I defend something, I'm not defending it because I do it. I defend it because everybody else is right to do it. What I am merely saying to you is that you can't sit here and act like because you are some way that everybody else is some way. I am talking about
But you can't negate
hold on.
I never acted
Hold on. I didn't say this.
But you can't do it.
Hold on.
How can you
Time out.
defend what's not your
Time out.
reality? Help me
Time out.
understand.
How?
How can you defend what's
Because
not your reality?
time out. It's like this. Hold on.
How?
It's like this. It's like this. You can sit up here and you can talk about, like, we want white people to defend or to say something about racism, but maybe they haven't experienced it. You can easily do that. So my point is simple. My point is that while I can be good by myself, I see plenty of people who talk like they are, but they're obviously not. And so you can sit here and you can say this about yourselves, and you can say this, and it may apply to you. But that is the difference between men and what women do in general. Men will talk about the masses. Women will talk because of who they are, as if that means all other women are. I'm telling you, I can tell you,
No one is
I
saying
know.
that you're
Listen,
not correct. Let me say this.
So-
Nobody's saying that you're not correct.
The host and show.
Yes.
be
You
the
just
host.
said that men will talk about the masses. But how do you talk about the masses when
Masses of
you're one
women.
person? Because the only way you can relate to the reality of everything is from your experience in life.
You know what?
can't just relate to
Time out,
everybody
time out,
in the
time out,
world.
time out.
No, you talking about.
No, I'm about. No, you asking me a question. You asking me a question. I'm about to explain to you. I'm about to explain to you because you know what?
You got 3 minutes.
I observe plenty of women. I talk to plenty of women. I am the one person. One of very few men that I know that have platonic female relationships. And I see exactly how it plays out. They can say whatever they want to on whatever, but when they talk to me, they are unhappy about being single. And I'm gonna tell you another thing. A lot of y'all think that y'all are presenting something happiness on Facebook, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. The reality is that when you on Facebook and you are complaining about men, happy people don't complain. Happy people don't take shots. Happy people don't sound miserable.
You totally
It's
changed
really,
the topic.
it's
You
the
totally
reality.
changed
No,
the topic.
I'm not changing the topic. I'm not changing the topic. I'm telling you.
This is
Y'all
also
gonna say
Sarah
I'm
Collins
single,
show.
but I see that you're not.
All right. All right, don't take up my show.
I'm
It's
not.
not about happiness.
No, but we don't let you
I'm about to show y'all.
take this 7 minutes.
I'm gonna show y'all how season 1 bring it to the forefront. So, Akira, you wrote a couple books, right? A book.
I wrote a book and I got others.
Thank you. So I validate what he's saying, but I'm gonna bring it a little bit.
I wrote a book too.
I'm gonna bring
I
it.
have
but I'm
several.
about
I'm
to-
gonna
She got several books. She got books.
You got several books?
Everybody on here is a copy.
I mean,
We all did
I'm sorry.
Not the co-Armstrong.
So this is what I'm gonna say. So need is based upon progression. So if you are a person, I'll give you an example. If you're a person, you live in a city and you feel that you do not want to learn about the other cultures, travel the world, learn about the different things that's happening outside of what's taking place on your block, then you don't need to travel. You don't need to go anywhere. You can live right there in front of your house, turn on your TV, and learn everything you need to learn on the TV, and you can learn a lot. But if you are progressive and you are looking to expand your mentality, your spirituality, expand your vocabulary, then you need to get in a car and go somewhere. So with that being said, no, need is not based upon if you don't have it that you're going to die. That has nothing to do with need, because your program, I said this earlier, we are programmed to interact, we are programmed to elevate, we are programmed to advance. So if you want to advance, you need a partner. There's no way around it. God created you, you were created, and we were created to interact with one another, and that's a necessity. And if we want to fight the creator upon the creation, then you can do that. But I'm not going to be egotistical.
Your partner could be a woman.
I'm not going to
So,
be egotistical and say that I, as a man, will not be able to enhance my manhood and my ability to be a man unless I interact and have a relationship with a woman, at least one, if not several. I will not be able to reach the level, if not several.
So, I mean,
My biology is
we
low.
have several,
And I passed the mic.
we interact with several men. You know, we have male
But I
friends.
said need in the sense of being able to be in a relationship at least with one at a certain point in time. That is a necessity for everyone
But
in order for them to do
everything
that.
is a relationship.
It is.
If you have a friend, that's a relationship.
I'm not
It's a
talking about
You,
friendship and
you still,
relationship.
you get a lot from your friends.
Once again, I'm gonna say this again, and I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna say that our program, I didn't create man, and I didn't create woman, and there was a creator. And everything we look around at has a purpose based upon his creation. We need to start to unify and agree as to why was man created and why was woman created, and we could talk about that.
Reproduction.
Okay, so I just want to ask one question before I let you go.
Right.
So my question is, what is the difference between an intimate relationship and a friendship?
Relationships, there are very few things that are different, but when you have an intimate relationship with someone, then there's an exchange of energy, there's an exchange of souls, there's an exchange of purpose, and that interaction just on a physical level, two people can become one, and that was the blessing for two coming together, that they can become one, and that makes them more powerful.
So I just want to, you know,
Bottom influence.
I'm
So
a
what
real
about
bottom
saying
line
it's
kind of
there,
person.
right?
So I just really want to know what is, so you said all of those fluffy words.
No, there was no
Those
fluff
were
about
fluffy
what I
words.
said.
Okay, I'm a bottom line kind of person. Those were
Bottom
fluffy
line
words.
is fluids exchange.
I want to know, so when I'm exchanging spirits and souls and purposes and stuff,
Yes,
because I have a guy friend and we went in business together, we ain't never even met.
correct.
So we have exchanged a lot of different stuff
Correct.
and never even met. So when you talk about exchanging the spirits and souls and stuff, is that when your penis comes out? Is that when
No,
we?
so you asked me what was the difference between the two.
Yes.
I explained very explicitly
No,
the
you did
difference.
not. You did not answer that question. So it wasn't
Let me just say,
explicit. It was
when
fluffy. You gave me clouds.
No, I didn't. I said,
Dandelions and shit. I don't want clouds. and dandelions.
let me express it then.
I want.
When two
Okay, tell me some real stuff then.
physically
Because the
come
difference, I
together.
got male friends.
So
So
now
here's one of my male friends.
No, she just asked us the difference between
I
the two.
can call O'Kara. He'll go take me to take my flat tire. and
Yes.
get it fixed.
Yes,
But we're not exchanging fluffy
Yes.
words that you talk about.
that's not.
Souls and spirits and stuff.
So once
Because
again,
your friendship and your intimate relationships, the difference is this is the person I'm
did
gonna
you ask me? Did
related
you want
with.
me to get?
I did.
No,
I
but I
said it was fluffy.
Okay,
It was
let me
dandelion.
say it one more time, and I'm gonna give you 30 seconds with it. So when two people come together, I want you to listen because you missed it. When two people come together and they have a physical exchange and they are exchanging, they want to get to know with one another, that's the highest level of blessing that two people can actually achieve.
Sexually, that's what
No,
you're saying.
physically, mentally. So see, people
No, I'm
don't
saying,
think.
explain what your
Okay, yes.
physicality means,
So
that's what I'm trying to
I'm saying
understand.
that first they are mentally, psychologically, are wanting to be together and desire to create. And when they have that physical engagement,
I'm not creating
That's
nothing.
fire right there. What you talking about?
when I say desire to create, please do not think of just that of
What
children.
we
When
creating?
What
I
are we
legacy,
creating?
dynasty,
Creating that with you.
legacy,
But I can
dynasty.
create that
All
with
those things can be created in same sex relationships.
That's not in the relationship.
So,
So
once
you're not
again,
giving us the answer.
so when I said, and I disagree that all can be created to the same sex, but that's a
Based
touchy
on what
subject.
you're, how you're
That's how you
saying,
explained it.
No,
your
but-
theory.
But what I said is when, this is what I initially said, I'm gonna go back to it.
Please.
We were all created, and the creator then therefore gets the opportunity to dictate what we were created for. So maybe the main question we need to ask is what was our reason for being a man and what is our reason for being a woman? Because we know what we do with a car, we know what we do with a pencil, we know what we do with a camera. We all know what that's created.
Reproduction.
So
It was for
so
reproduction.
is that, so I'm saying that our creator had more than just a plan for reproduction, because in that whole story, there was a whole lot of other things outlined. So you can do your research and you can look at it, but all I'm saying is that we gotta stop being this individual, egotistical, and wanna satisfy ourselves in a physical level type of realm. That's
Well,
all.
we are individual. Sure.
Okay.
We're not.
We
So,
are.
okay,
Men
we're
and
gonna-
women are
We're gonna
individual.
go ahead and keep this moving because Sherwood he got us in the dandelion field.
I like that.
Wow.
We're gonna go ahead and let our social workers go
Come on,
ahead.
cut the grass, go there, cut the grass.
Y'all get some.
So, for the audience, let me put on my clinical hat. Okay, so the first question was, please refresh my memory about,
Do men and women need each other?
do we need each other? What happens
Or
is,
do women need?
That was not the question. The question was women need men, and it's in an intimate relationship, not cousins, women need a man.
Okay. So let me validate. Everybody at the table is correct. Because we remember what our perspectives come from what? A summation of our experiences.
That's not what O'Carroll said. He said he just speak for the masses.
I got you. But he had to hear multiple men and multiple women give their perspective to say, this is what the masses are feeling out here. And he did confirm by saying, I have a lot of platonic female friends who tell me, O'Kara, I play the role. I play the Oprah Winfrey. I play the strong black woman. But sitting down with you, my friend, who I trust and love, I'm lonely, O'Kara. O'Kara, how come it can't be more of you out here? How come it can't be more Sherwoods out here? How come it can't be more of Okay, well, and how come it can't be any more Khalids out here, right?
There you go.
Because we're considerate men, right? And we're good and decent men, right? And so, again, everybody is correct. Do men need women? Do women need men? And that can be a debate all day long. What's the problem is, it's the presentation of that term. As black men, I do not ever want to hear a black woman say she don't need me. Because then what's my purpose? I need Anaya Scott. I need you. I need you. I need every you, all of you all to say, I need my black men to protect me, to honor me, to cherish me. But because us men have let women down, then their sense of security, their sense of stability says that I can't keep saying I need them, because if you don't show up, I'm going to continue to be disappointed. So now I got to say I don't need them, because that's my protection. The more we do what we're supposed to do, because you don't hear white women saying it. You don't hear Asian women saying it. You don't hear Arabic women, because for the most part, it appears their men are there. But we are the only race of people who 400 years ago started in 1623. It was deliberate that we be divided. Because you all know when black people come together strong, we conquer everything. But the master plan was to divide us. And 400 years later, guess what? It's working. Black men are right now saying we don't want to vote for Kamala. Right? Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. But we need her. We need her because look what our alternative is. Because if that other dude get up in office, he gonna let black people know what he really thinks of us. So we need Kamala like we needed Obama. And think about it, how we felt looking at that DNC over the last few days. We felt re-inspired. And even though she's with a white man, I ignored that because that strong black woman gave me a sense of what? Security. You know, she gave me a sense of, I'm going to take care of you. And us black men who all have mamas, we know how it feels when a black woman is taking care of us. That's why you will never hear a black man say, I don't need a woman, because we are clear whether we mad
But
at
he
you
might
say
not
it.
need a black woman, because a lot of them have all kind of different kind of women.
And then they have deficits.
Yeah, men usually need at least 3 or 4 women.
And they have
Oh, wait,
deficits.
I'm sorry, did
That's
you say,
another topic.
did you say, did you just say,
That's another time in Chicago, man.
did you just say,
They got at least 2.
When it comes to having multiple women, yes, they need
but
multiple.
y'all
women.
don't need, we need multiple, but y'all don't need
So
one.
I'm just talking about for the masses. So what I would like to
Give me
say,
that.
what I would like to say is, when I say I don't need a man, I am not saying that I don't need my black brothers. Not saying that at all.
There you go.
I'm not saying I don't need my father. I don't need my son. I don't need my uncles, cousins, my male friends. The topic of conversation was about a partner, an intimate partner. And the fact that you say, I need a man, the point being, I can have a partner, it could be a woman. That's a flat thing that's going on right now to this day. They could need a woman.
Do
So
you need a
needing
man
a
or not?
man
But this is what
is something that I
Do
don't
you need a
need
man?
Just for the
want.
record.
And so when Akira was making all of his statements, everything he said, the women that talked to him said, I want, and I don't have. The only difference of what I am speaking of is you don't need a man in an intimate relationship.
So you're saying
And
you
I
don't
will
need
say
sex?
that again.
You want
Me.
sex? They gonna die with
So
sex.
is that what men is doing
What?
right now?
I
We just,
want.
men is just the sex.
It
Because she
depends
said,
on what else
she
you
said,
got.
also as a man, the other is a
But
man.
guys, I think we can all agree, like, we need men. We need,
Period.
like, this
Thank
brought
you.
me back
We said that.
to
I said
season
that.
1 where we were saying, is a marriage needed? Absolutely, I think it's needed because it's the foundation of the family. And if you go back to the foundation of a family, it's men and women
Yes.
procreating. So yes, we all agree we need men, we need to reproduce, we need to keep our society going. And so in that way we need. But sometimes I think when we're talking about needs, sometimes we're at a point where women work now and they do all of these other things and they're independent in so many other ways. And that's the need that they talk about. And it's not the need of the biblical need of needing a man and a woman, because we all agree on that.
Yes.
We all agree.
I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it? Yes,
You need to
I
get
agree on that.
because people saying that every time.
Where
I'm
have
sorry,
you seen it?
I'm talking about in reality.
Where
Because
have
that's
you
what
seen
we're
it
talking
in reality?
So we're gonna work on wrapping up this segment.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say,
Hold on.
just real
Hold on,
quick.
hold on.
When you-
Did you want to finish your thought?
Yeah, please.
No, I think we're all agreeing on certain
You got 2
sayings.
I don't even need 2 minutes.
And then you
I-
you had something to say?
Yeah, just
Okay.
1 minute, I just
Okay, go
said.
ahead.
I just.
Wait, let her finish.
Oh, I mean,
No, I just think we're all agreeing that we need men and women need each other.
Oh, so, just to confirm.
Just
Men all
confirm,
agree,
I said that.
men are needed. Are y'all agreeing? And men are needed? I just.
But I think sometimes when men are talking about do we need them,
They're not
women may
listening.
go back to the need of sex. They may go back to the need of the provider of financial, because that's where this society is right now, in the need of a man. So that's what I think the disconnect comes in. It's not that you don't need a man. I think when you guys are speaking to us, our thought process may be the financial part of it. Our thought process may be the sexual part of it. And women now can get those things elsewhere. They can get them on their own. They can, get sex toys. They can have 6-figure careers themselves. And so I think sometimes that's their thought process when they say they don't need you guys. But do we need men? Absolutely.
So I just want to say, just right there, that's where we have a lot of misconceptions. Because, hold on, because she is so correct. All we've said is that a man is needed. We ain't never necessarily validated what that meant. And so when she says not sex, not this, not that, but they are needed, that's where the confusion becomes in. Because as soon as you said something's not needed, there's a lot of attachments that goes with that.
I think that the men make those attachments.
Yes.
Because
She
it
just
comes-
said that she
And
can't, you
that's-
done said
it
that.
comes from, so when you break, I'm a bottom line kind of person, so if you look in the dictionary with need, there's some things that we need to survive, and penis and all that kind of stuff is not included in
But
that.
you keep
We can buy
making-
all of
Wait.
that.
I just want to say one thing, and I try very hard to be just a mediating voice sometimes, but you said one thing and that throws me off. You said survive. I don't want to just survive, I want to thrive.
Absolutely.
I want to grow up and develop. And although in theory and reality, I can do that alone, doing that with my husband is so much more fulfilling. It is so much more meaningful, and it is so much more productive.
Not knocking that at all.
And
Absolutely.
so when we talk about need and surviving versus thriving, need versus want, we have to look at what is the big picture. Because my mother is 84, thank God. And she was talking about her friends being on some type of senior citizens dating app, which I almost passed out. And she said they get swipes, girl, they get swipes. But in her age demographic, they still are longing for companionship.
Wanting.
And not that they will
Wanting.
fall over and die without
wanting.
but their lives' productivity and extension may be that much more meaningful with the proper partner.
The proper.
So, may I just, 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
One
All
minute,
right.
one minute.
I'll take 1 minute.
So
It
we're
doesn't,
closing the
it
rest
doesn't,
up.
it doesn't matter.
Turn on the timer.
I'll take 1 minute. Nobody has said anything that actually disputed what I said. He said, no, seriously, nobody has said anything that actually disputed what I said, and everybody sat here and agreed with it. The reality is that we like to state these specifications about need and want. The reality is that if you're sitting here just speaking about surviving, then you're not really speaking about what she said. And so, yes, I can go through life and live without a woman. But do I need a woman to make my life whole? Yes, because men and women and human beings, period, are all interdependent on each other. And so as you go through life, you can say whatever you want to say about I don't need this or I don't need that. You can make that little distinction if you want to, but the reality is that you're not right if you're not with people. And so we all yearn and we all desire to have someone. And so you can fight it, you can distinct it, you can do whatever you want to. It don't change. It don't change.
I just need 45 seconds because it's just 45 seconds because to just sum it all up, as Khalid mentioned earlier, the problem is I'm so sick and tired of men talking about what women and men are not doing. What are we going to change to unify ourselves? We're not saying that we don't need a man into that sense, but men has not been in that role for Black women. Let's be honest about it. We can continue to blame the woman and blame the man, but when are we going to individually take accountability to start healing our communities by doing our parts? And doing our parts is women will accept a man if he's the right one. We don't have a problem with that, needing someone if you're the right one. But how can I need you if you're not showing up in the way that you need to? So I think women, we need to continue to have that dialogue with one another just as well as men and call us out on each other, because until then, there will never be a resolve. We can talk until we're green in the face, but the resolve is going to come in when men take the accountability that they have not, Black men have not shown up in a way that they should, that garnered this whole thought process of Black women, that we don't need them, that we have to do it on our own. Yes, you can do it by yourself, but together is so much better.
Yes.
We're not saying we're against that, but we need to get back to that.
Yes.
Men taking account and holding each other accountability so we can get back there to rebuild our family structure. That's all I wanted to say. And that's the whole problem of everything.
Let's open up to this episode.
So I'm gonna end it out as I begin this topic. I believe that we're all on the same page, Sherwood, with us meeting each other
Yes.
in community, in life.
Yes.
The difference was, and the topic was about a woman meeting a man in an intimate relationship, okay? I need a Bentley.
You need a Bentley?
Can I say that? I need a Bentley. I need a SUV. No, it would make it much easier for me to get from point A to point B if I had a car, or a Bentley preferably. But I don't need it. I want it. And that is the end all to be all.
I hope y'all understood what she just said. I'm gonna let y'all decipher that.
Okay. All right.
It's a train wreck. It's gonna keep going because it's individual.
Yeah.
So we gonna wrap up.
Yeah, but
And we're gonna revisit a question from the first season. Who we
I
doing?
think he's the only one that's not on our.
Do you have a clip from Sherwood who called him out? Because I'm sure he got called out.
Just like the sheriff called him out. I
Did
think
you-
Tish called him out.
He don't. Did Tish call him out?
Yeah, it's something about basics or something, basic living or something. Maria and Tish called you out. Let me
Oh,
find
two
it.
people called him out. I'm not
Sure, I'm
surprised.
sure. If I was there, I would have called him out too, so.
Would you would have called me
Sherwood
out?
was a lot of stuff to call him
Would you would
out.
have called me out?
I don't know, I'll find something.
But your question, so we gonna can we find Sherwood's, who called Sherwood out? He's from first season, he's from season one, it was only 5 episodes from season one. So one of them has to be him saying something. He's probably saying a whole lot.
I thought what she said earlier is really something that actually becomes a precursor to a good conversation, as far as she said that men stepping up and being a role. And what I found in the last 10 years, what I have found that's different is that sometimes you can have the right intentions, but people don't really see you. They don't really understand where you're coming from. And sometimes it takes a time for people to actually catch up. So it could be like spirituality. People say like the wisdom of the Bible is real, but they don't believe in it. And then later on in life, they say, oh, you know what, that made a lot of sense. So men, I think as black men, I think that we're being overlooked. I think there are so many more black men out here that the men, we are programmed to want to fix things. That's our innate ability. And so when there's a problem, we're trying to create a solution to the problem. If we're trying, even on a low vibration, if we're trying to get women, we're trying to find the best terminology to use. Hey, babe, is there some fries that come with that shake? We're going to come up with something that's going to work, because failure is not necessarily what we accept. So I think that we need to start to look at what is it that men are doing right now that is not really approval of women? Or is it that women are not truly seeing men's ability to tap into real things?
Give us an example.
No, you're not going to give an example of that. So
I'm not sure if it is at the moment.
no. Hold on, we gonna let Maria say something, then we done with, we gonna, you got what? We gonna get audience, that's why I wanna get audience questions, so go ahead and say,
What I have to say is this.
and keep it.
It's not a lot of times what you say, it's about the way you say it. And it's a lot of times about what you are going to do versus what you intend to do. Because a lot of men that I know, and I don't know the whole universe, I'm speaking the ones that I know, overspeak and underdeliver. And
Yes.
now, and a lot of women have accepted that underdeliverance and have created that normality of mediocrity. So when we talk about one side of the equation, we also have to talk about the other side.
Take them
We have to be accountable on everything.
You want to, okay, real quick, because I wanna take some audience questions.
Okay,
They got
absolutely.
something to say.
Audience, I want to address that because it's so powerful and prolific.
Yes, yes.
I have a private practice, and I have 14 black male clients, right? And what I've observed with my black male clients, they are all broken men. Broken men get with women, could be the healthiest woman in the world, and will break her. And then she will break the children. And then they will break the community. But luckily, post-pandemic, Men are now learning, I gotta sit in front of a therapist now, because I'm tired of my brokenness.
Okay.
And so now that they're up in the fixing part, right? Let's be optimistic.
And you know what? And so I'm just gonna say this. And so I think that part of what Khalid said, we also need to look at some of our younger men in their 20s and 30s, because your people are probably older than that, right?
Yes, they are.
But you need some of, because they were raised by broken men.
And women.
And women.
Oh my
And
God.
so how do you create this whole being if you have nothing whole to give them? But, so right now I want to, do we have any audience questions or comments? Anybody want to come on up? If you, come on up. We streaming live.
She ready. She
Are
ready.
they calling our names? Would they get questions?
If it's a direct question for you, come on up here. We want you to get into the thing.
Okay,
Right
so-
there, go ahead.
I'm Robin Russell, and basically coming from that generation right under y'all, and seeing the upcoming generation. I work in a high school, so I'm seeing these broken kids every day. How they lack the coping skills. They lack a lot of things that were not taught to them, and so it's like we're playing counselors every day.
Yes.
Every day. I work in the office, and I'm over here counseling parents over the phone. Like, hey, this is what your child is doing. This is, so it's a trickle effect.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to find out a way to fix, like, catch
Oh,
it.
that's the $1 million question. That's a $1 million
Question,
How do
like,
we
we gotta
fix
catch
it?
it.
I don't know how
We gotta
to
catch them. And we're smart on here, but we don't
She said she don't know, but I got some solutions.
There needs to be mother and father in the household.
Come
That is
on,
so
lady.
simple. Foundation has fathers in the household.
And that's the solution. So,
A
so that's
a father household is not the solution. If they're broken, then you got two people breaking a child, so that is not the solution.
So,
I think
so,
that is a big part of the solution.
So-
That is a big part of the
It might
solution.
be part of it,
That's
but
the
if they're
biggest
both
part of the
broken,
solution.
if they're both
And that's
broken,
why, that's the point, that's the whole reason why we're broken. Because black men were taken out of the household. That's almost the 99% of the reason why we're broken.
Yes.
I agree with you, but it doesn't make
And I
it a solution
understand
if
there's
they're
mental
broken.
illness, there's everything else, nobody's perfect, and people are broken because their parents were broken. But I think a lot of our problems would be solved if there were two parents in the household. And yes, they have to be healthy, and yes, they have to be healthy, but that's the start.
I agree.
That's the start.
I agree.
Very
That is a
okay
very
in
strong
the
start.
Right, that's true too. Make it very okay.
are y'all really trying to get a solution, or y'all just trying to
No,
post some
no,
stuff?
no.
Because here's the truth about it. So what? People are broken. You know what? People are broken. And that means that broken people might get with another broken person. The real reality of it is, do you still want to be broken, or are you looking to be better? And if you are looking to be better, then you get with other people that you can talk to, that you can listen to, that will encourage you to be better. And then if you have a conversation with that person, then you go back to your mate and you try to encourage her or him to be better also. But we can't do this if we constantly sit back and say people are broken, and broken people don't deserve to be in relationships. Broken people don't deserve to be in family because we need.
But the thing is, yes, it can be broken people, but the first step to healing is accountability.
Healing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Let's
and so
talk about accountability. Accountability.
Hold on, guys.
Thanks
Xavier
for,
wants it.
thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It with the Xavier Fox. So we're gonna move on to the next question.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Because we found Sherwood's question. We're gonna go to a season 1 question.
Man, I think about these solutions.
Yeah. And so the next topic is, Trudy, what'd you say that was?
You were saying how women don't have any domestic skills, and women were saying why would they perform wife duties if they're not your wife?
So Sherwood thinks that women should have domestic skills and they should perform wifely duties even if they're not a wife. And so, how do you feel about that now?
I still feel that right now what's affecting is that there is no skills in the household. And even if you are living by yourself, there's still lack of skills, because if you by yourself and you don't cook for yourself, if you by yourself and you can't clean your house, if you by yourself and you don't know how to take care of your mental, spiritual, emotional, or physical well-being, how the hell are you gonna get with somebody else and do that? So if you don't have those skills,
I can pay for all that. Everything you mentioned, I can pay for. I'm sorry.
I hope y'all heard that. This is the reason why my whole thing is about yin and yang. It's okay to have that negativity, but I'm talking about being a productive human. And if we gonna fight that, fight it. That's all right.
So back then, I guess because Trinity, she's watching it over there. And so she said that you felt like a woman when she came to you before you made her. I kind of remember this now.
Maybe.
Because you were saying if you are not, well, you didn't say performing wifely duties, but you were saying if you're not doing this up front, which I actually kind of agree with you in a way.
You should always.
Not about women, but when I look at men, if a man comes to me and he's not showing that he's worthy of being a boyfriend or a husband, then why am I going to make him a boyfriend?
Exactly.
So I actually kind of agree with you on that. But there are a lot of women, and you see it all the time on Facebook. They say, I'm not going to give him wife treatment. He's not going to get wife treatment out of me if I'm not even a girlfriend yet, or even if he is. So you still feel that way? Anybody else?
Oh, no. I didn't say that I feel that way. I felt that you need to come to the table that can acknowledge your skills. If you want me to be your man, I need to show that I can protect you. I need to show that I have some balance. I need to show that you can rely on me. I need to show that I got your back. And I need to show those things so that you can have the reassurance that if we get together and make it long term, that then therefore we can have something to work with. If I don't never show you that, how are you going to make a decision to be with me? Vice versa. You need to show me as what I'm looking for. No, I don't eat eggs. I don't eat eggs. What are you talking about? No, I didn't say you had to cook. I said you got to show me skills that you can. Because guess what? Nourishment is very important from the woman. Nourishment is very important.
I thought he said cooking and cleaning.
No. I said domestic skills.
With the woman, he said cooking and cleaning.
No,
because I said I could pay for it.
No,
But aren't domestic skills cooking, cleaning, running a household? Those are domestic skills.
You know what? So I'm going to make sure y'all understand this. I will never minimize a woman's ability just to physical things. So just cooking and cleaning, that's just a little surfaces.
But that's how people define domestic.
That's how I call it.
Years ago, that's what you said.
Today he lived.
You don't know what you said. Remember, I asked you what you said.
But I ain't
What you
saying
said,
that.
you said you didn't remember what you said. So she looked up
I didn't say
what you said.
I said I ain't saying. I feel that women need to come to the table with domestic skills as far as cooking and cleaning. But if a person comes to the table with cooking and cleaning, that means that they have a lot more behind that. That means that they want to nourish the person. That means they want to pour into the person. That means that they want to have organization in the household.
No, it does not. Young, and I didn't really know how to cook multiple meals like my grandmother and mother made have known how to
Why
cook.
y'all make this so
I'm
personal?
just saying, women can come to a relationship and not know how to cook, but I did take cooking
There are men that
classes
cook.
because I wanted to learn how to cook, so I took cooking classes, but I didn't come to our relationship being this.
Right, those are things that can be learned.
That can be
Who
learned,
said
that's
come
great.
right?
No, but I'm just saying, you said that's the domestic part that you have to come to,
Men cook,
being able to
men
cook.
clean.
Men do cook.
Well, all right, I got it.
I think the whole problem is, what we really need to get to the truth of the matter is, I personally feel like healing is an ongoing process, but men and women, if you're unhealed, you don't need to be seeking no type of relationship.
Yes.
Because you need to take accountability to become self-sufficient So whatever you bring to the table, you can bring that and teach one another. But if you're like I want to go back to a little bit about that broken, then come to what you're saying, who and what bring to the table. When you're trying to heal, when you're a healed version of yourself, you're able to be open to the things that you may not know, because we're not going to know everything. You can teach me something in the house, and it's what works in your household. When my husband was alive, he was good with the finances. He knew that he brought the money home. He knew that he could do the finances, and I was going to organize the house, because I believe your environment dictates on how you see yourself going, because you're in a cluttered, nasty, because there's a lot of nasty men and women out there. If your household is nasty before you get with anyone, who wants to bring that filth on there? So that's an unhealed person, because unhealed people, you see the chaos within them. So I feel like you should be healed or working towards healing before you get with anyone, so you can take accountability for where you lack.
Wait,
Wait,
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you go first,
because I'm not gonna say a whole lot. What we also may want to consider is that a good man may not be your man. A good woman may not be your woman. There are a lot of good people out here with whom that level of connectivity is not the goal and the agenda. And I want to say this because a whole lot of good men and good women have been messed up spending a lot of time and energy with that wrong person or that person that is not on the same journey. And take responsibility for that choice, because trust and believe, when you look back, you recognize that there were signs that that person wasn't going where you were heading.
Right.
So if we can get to that level of peace and bring it to the table, because I'm not a domestic goddess, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I am, but I know what I do bring will set this world on fire.
That's right.
Okay, so
Said Sharon on fire.
but who I am is not for every man.
Right.
But you are self-aware of who you are. See, that healing, what I mean about the healing is
Absolutely.
becoming self-aware, because you know that you, like you just stated, you acknowledge the fact that you're aware that the domestic part is not where, but you bring other parts.
Sure.
But you only could arrive at that point being self-aware of who you are. You got a lot of people that don't know who they are and what do they bring.
And they are out here destroying.
Yes,
Making
yes,
creating
that's the point,
chaos
that's the point
and
that I
destroying
was
themselves.
saying. Exactly,
Let's let,
exactly.
man.
we got 3 minutes.
Don't give them 3 minutes, give
No,
them 3 minutes.
listen, you can give me a minute because look, I can say my shit quick. Look, I hate to be this guy, but I'm gonna be this guy. Is that what she says, while true, is not really possible.
What?
It's not,
What's
because
What's
here,
that?
What's not possible?
Just listen, he gonna tell you.
there aren't the majority of people, the majority of people are not self-aware.
That's what I
And
just
so,
said.
can I?
No, listen,
Okay, but you listen. Y'all just want to fight me.
I don't want to fight you because you're not winning.
I'm gonna say, so the majority of people are not self-aware. So the problem is that if you're not self-aware, you are not going to be able to acknowledge that you need the help. And so these people are still going to go about and they're going to date. We like to say, well, you should not date unless you're this or unless you heal. Negroes are not healed.
See, this
But they are, hold on, but they still want connection. And so you're not going to be able to have this. We like to talk about everything in theory. I don't mess with theory. I mess with what the reality is.
If
The
I
reality
see that
is,
you a bust down brother, then you need to push on.
the reality is,
That's it.
It's
is that,
And
the reality
and if I take that bust down brother,
is that
that's
we
on
need
me.
to figure out,
It's your preference.
we need to figure out how to connect and communicate with the people who are not healed, who are still dating, who are dating each other.
We are connected to them.
We don't.
Yes, you do.
I'm about to stand up on that.
That's the problem.
That's right
Y'all
there.
think-
It's the problem.
That's the problem.
Connect with
No,
them.
time out.
He ain't listening.
Y'all not listening. No. We need. My man is a social worker.
Yes.
He will tell you we need to figure out how to connect with the people who are not healed in order to communicate to them that what you are doing is toxic and you need to change.
Oh my God.
But
I'm
what
about
we-
to have a
But
revelation.
what we sit here and what we doing is we talk about all this theory. Oh, you shouldn't be dating if you not this. But they're going to still date because they don't know that they not that.
Oh, my
because
God.
they have grown. Listen, people grow up. People do what they know, and if they've grown up in toxicity, then that is what they know. It's the same thing. We
Can I
need
ask
to
you a question?
figure out a way
I
to
gotta hear
point
this
out
question. I gotta hear
what the toxicity is and to let them know what you're doing is not toxic. Because I'm gonna tell you something. You can
Did
be.
anybody ever tell
Hold
you
on.
you needed to change?
Time out. That I needed to change. I told myself.
So nobody ever
Listen,
told you.
hold on. Time out. I'm gonna tell you. I told myself. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on.
Did anybody tell you that?
The reason I'm gonna tell you what happened.
That's either yes or no.
No.
Right, literally, yes.
Hold on. But time out. I'm gonna tell you.
You got 15 seconds.
Time out. I'm going to tell you how it happened.
Time out.
Because I decided to write a book about relationships. And as I am writing the book and I am advising women against certain activities or certain behaviors of men, I realized
You were that man.
that some of the behaviors were things that I was doing.
Yeah.
And so not only that,
Yes.
but yes, as I was writing the book, I also was doing a lot of research on psychology and other things, and I realized certain things. I'm like, damn, that's me.
But has anybody
But
told you that?
hold on, time out, hold on. But not everybody is writing a book.
Right.
But has anybody told you
said
those things?
He said no. He said no. But he's proving the point that I'm saying. No. He's
Can I
proving
just
the
say this
point.
real
Not
quick?
yet.
Yeah,
He's just proving the point.
Ladies first, let me say.
Yes.
When you know better, you do better.
No, you don't.
In some instances, because let me finish my point. The point that I'm saying, he said he's dealing in reality. Until you become aware, that's where I'm talking about that whole self-awareness. Yes, we do need to reach those individuals because a lot of people don't know what to do until someone presented to them and then they begin to do the research because that's where that self-accountability comes in because you have to take inventory over yourself. Nobody can make you change. You have to be willing to change. Change cannot come until you change in action when you make up your mind.
But
So
change
that's
also
what I
does
mean.
not come in a vacuum because, and I'm speaking
It
from
don't.
I'm a retired Cook County adult probation officer. And I had plenty of clients that wanted to change, had no systems of support. I had clients that would come back to me after they terminated probation because they had nobody in their reality that co-signed their change behavior. So it's not that easy to say, when we know better, we're gonna do better. It takes a whole lot.
I want you to really think about what she just said, because that is what has been happening that people don't pay attention to. People want change, but without a support system, they will go back to doing any depraved thing that they are familiar with. So in order to be able to advance, we need to, as he said, interact and understand how to interact with individuals that do not know that they need help, that do not know how to get help. And here's the thing, and before you say that, and still interact and still be open to knowing that the individual that actually identified that need to be changed might need to meet some changes themselves too.
So
And be
the original
cool with
topic,
that.
the original topic and the original original question, I love how we have dialogue when we go off topic. The original question was, does the woman need to be domesticated, and does she need to have those skills and use those skills prior to being married? And Sherwood had said that they need to know how to cook and clean, and that's really what I wanted to comment on.
Oh, wait,
And so-
we passed that.
Yeah, you don't want me to talk because you know I'm about to hit you upside the head. So you said that the woman has to be able to cook and has to be able to clean, and then she should use those skills prior to being married. And what I want to say is traditionally, I agree with the whole household, and traditionally it was the woman inside the house and the man outside the house. But a lot of things have changed over time. So we can purchase a service to cook. We can purchase a service to clean. There are men that cook and clean.
Is that what you said over there all that time? And that's what you came up with?
I think that each relationship determines what the roles are for that particular relationship. And so I know, Sharon, that you need an old school woman to cook.
No, that's not what I said, but you said to pay for something.
No, I said I don't have to know how to cook because I can pay a cook.
So did you just hear?
That's what I'm saying.
We are not being solution oriented if you saying that you're going to use your funds to pay for a service.
But she got funds.
To pay for a service.
Women didn't have funds back in the day when they had to cook and clean. They didn't have no funds to pay for that stuff.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna say this and let it go. A woman can pay for another woman to give their baby breast milk from their breast. A woman can pay for another woman to give that baby breast milk from the breast. They could, right? But guess what? If you are the parent of that child and you form that bond and you provide the breast milk to that baby and it's your milk, it's a difference.
Sure, just because you're louder does not mean you're right.
Oh, it has nothing to do with loud. I'm a man. It has nothing to do with loud. Do not try to.
I was quiet.
Do not go there. Do not go there. Do not go there.
I wasn't finished. I don't understand how Shirley gets 7 minutes, or Kira get 3.5 and go to 5, and then when we start.
I want you to finish your thought.
Thank you.
And then Khalid is gonna go.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be quick. Like I said, we understand that you need somebody to cook and clean. All I am saying is that does not make or break a woman if she is not able to cook or clean, because she can bring so many other valuable aspects and nurture you without cooking eggs or bacon.
Name one. I don't eat eggs or bacon. Name one.
She can bear your children. She can help you. She can help you.
And she can't feed them.
Let me know when you're ready for the answer. Let me know when you're ready for the answer. She can nurture you so you won't be so angry.
Okay.
And she can give you the love and comfort that you need so you can relax a little bit. That's one thing that she could bring. That's just one thing that she could bring. I'm just. I'm passing to my senior brother.
Okay, so we're gonna go over to Khalid. Go ahead.
Well, one of the goals, X, because me and you've been discussing relationships for many years, and I started back with Art Chat Sims back in 1997 talking about relationships. And what I've learned over these last almost 30 years is that we talk about the problems, but we kind of cascade over solutions. And we can't afford that no more. So Lady T and Okira, both of them are correct. What the acknowledgement of the work that we need to do is foundational. And then what Okira talked about is being pragmatic and being the implementation. So if I know that I just got divorced from you and I'm hurt because I miss you and I miss being married, but then while I'm going through a divorce with you, I'm messing with her.
Oh, damn.
What I'm going to do is all the brokenness that I put upon you, I'm transferring it to you. You're wrong for being with me because I'm still married. And it's something in you who wants to be fulfilled, but you should say, Khalid, get a divorce, go and see a Khalid Scott for a year, and come and see me.
And that's the commercial
drowning. We are drowning. And we got to start doing better. Guys, to be honest, Sherwood is right. Where Sherwood loses people is his presentation. Woo! That's the only difference, because what he's saying is 100% correct. And Sherwood, she would go in the kitchen and cook for you. But it's the sense of, you better do it, you better do it, you better do it. Instead of, sweetheart, you know what your food does to me. When I eat it, I know the love is in place. You was in Jules loving me. When you picked the food and put it in the cart, you had love for me when you drove home. And you cooked it. And you sat up there and like, how I'm gonna make my, I want my man to belch when he get done eating this food, because it was good and I love him. And I'm then gonna make love to him. He gonna make love to me because I fed him. And men, the way to our hearts is through our stomach. But if I'm telling her, get your ass in there, get this good woman.
Everybody wants the finished product. And nobody comes as a finished product, you guys. And everybody, that's what you're saying, you want a finished product right there. Nobody's gonna come as a finished product. So somebody may come to the relationship and not know how to cook. But if they have the will to learn how to cook for their family and do that, then that's different than saying, okay, you disqualified because you don't know how to cook. You're disqualified because you don't know how to do this.
Wait. Y'all getting confused here.
I feel like sometimes your statements make it seem like everybody should come as this perfect being.
I never said
But that's how you
anything
come
about.
off. But I think that's what Khalid
That's what he said. I never said it. No, I said come to the skill with domestic skill. I never demanded anybody need to get in the kitchen and cook. I would not do that. He said that. I never said that. I just said how it's taken. But I just said, she said, sure.
It's on film, you need to check your show, you see.
That's what it sounds. That's I'm the son.
Season 1, y'all need to hug y'all.
I'm the son.
Y'all need to hug y'all.
Okay. Hold on. What's the next question? Hold on.
Okay, next topic.
Here we go. All right, so this has been a very hot topic. Does anyone in the audience have any questions or comments they would like to make? Come on up here, come on up here. I see you, come on up here. Make your question or comment, girl. One of my favorite people. Come on over here, you gotta come on a little bit. You gotta get in the camera. There you go. Okay, so, now, we're streaming live, just so you know. Okay.
So, but hello everyone. So I am Veronica, but I just want to really just get more kind of the thought process of the woman and the cooking and all of that. Because my question is, are we saying, well, I should say, is it Sherman?
No, I'm sorry, do not make that mistake. It's
Sherwood. And then
Khalid.
because I know you said that you agree with that, Sherwood. So are you speaking from a perspective of like, this is my own experience, or because I'm a man, I think that most men feel like women should be domestic minds as far as cooking or cleaning.
So in order for me to speak about that, like I said, I'm like Okira said, I'm not basing this about my experience, because every woman that I engage with already showed that they have skills that they can cook or clean. That's why we actually engage. But I'm not looking at them or discounting them because they don't or do.
Okay.
It just makes it more attractive because they generally do. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that on a spiritual level, what takes place is that, again, the Creator actually dictated what individuals need to do. So when we look at that.
Everybody don't believe in your Christian guy.
So here's the thing. So say that one more time. I agree, and that's why I always speak in the thing as far as purpose. let's look about purpose. So when I say that, and the only reason I say that is because when I have a baby and you have my child, guess what I'm expecting you to do?
Her husband ain't gonna have it.
Guess what I'm expecting you to do? I'm expecting you to provide breast milk to my
So
baby.
you're coming from not even a personal experience for most men. You're coming from your religious foundation.
No, not at all.
So which one? I mean, I'm just trying to
A functional with purpose. If you have my child, I am expecting you to provide my child with breast milk from your breast. Period. I can't
No,
give
we're
it to you.
talking about.
No. Here's what I'm deriving that. So if you want to provide, hold on a second. I'm functional. I cannot give my baby breast milk. Only you can. And if you give my baby breast milk for the next 2 years, after that baby transformed from breast milk, the baby's going to need solid food. If you've been the nourisher for that baby for 2 years for the breast milk, that baby's going to expect you to provide nourishment past the breast.
We want to talk
And
about
you
kids.
can
We
provide
talking
that.
about you,
She
Shirley.
asked me a question, and I'm giving you a direct, specific answer.
7 minutes.
And
Go
that
ahead,
is
7
exactly. And if you assume that responsibility of providing the nourishment after you give them the breast milk, and you give them things to plate or the food or whatever, then therefore, when does that end? And I'm saying that's your superpower. Use it, because grandma always told the best way to get to a man is through his stomach. That's what
What?
she said.
You ain't talking about me. You talking about me.
So hold on.
I'm curious. Am I the only one who understands him?
Yes.
And you know what?
Am I the only one?
I'm about to walk off.
That's the problem that I'm having. That's the problem I'm
Because
having.
I feel like I'm the only person who
You're
understands.
right. You're correct.
Well, you two are kind of
Well,
like.
first of all, I'm standing here
No, I'm just.
because I didn't say whether I agree with him or not.
Do you?
No, I wasn't.
I didn't say,
do you?
I asked you,
Do you?
do I agree with you? Only thing I can come from, I asked you that. The reason why I
I
asked
said,
that,
do you agree?
when I asked you, do I have to? Does my opinion, or if I agree with you?
You say yes or
does
no
that
and say
matter?
you don't.
It's not a yes or no. I want to understand your perspective. So it's not a yes or no. I'm standing here because I want to understand your perspective. In the end,
Yes, so let me explain. Back in the 90s, the 80s and the 90s, there was a popular show that came on TV that impacted all of our lives, right? What show was that? The Cosby Show. And one of the things that set Claire Huxtable apart was this, and how we know her role was really effective. When Ebony Jet magazine would have the most beautiful woman of the year, she won the most 8 years in a row. And when they asked men, what is it about Claire Huxtable? They said not only was she a female attorney, but when they did the kitchen scenes, she was in there cooking.
So
It was, hear me out, please, hear me out. So what happens is, what men's things was, wait a minute, and then we know it's a character, but what stood her out is, here was this beautiful woman, she kept herself together, she cooked, she provided, and she took care of 5 kids. So we didn't hear the.
this was a show. I just want you to know.
I
Did
know.
you waste the whole life on that? I'm sorry.
I'm telling y'all,
They
man.
still cook.
They played
They
a
still
role.
cook.
No, I'm just saying, there's no.
We're
He's
just
making a point. Just let him have his point.
Right, and I'm giving, and the reason, and I'm giving foundation. I'm giving foundation, guys. Please listen. And that's what I'm talking about. Arguing is not doing us no good. Please listen to the part I'm making. And I am.
So you and I are having.
Absolutely. So what I'm saying is, what men said turned them on was that she was an eclectic woman, that all the needs got provided. And we know that this was a fictional character. But the foundation was, if I had a decent mama, aunties, and grandmama, one of the things we saw them do and do well was fed us, right? So that's why men have the expectation of feed me. It's the food. And the example I gave with her, knowing that she went to the grocery store, even before she got to the grocery store, she made her list out because she wanted to feed me. It's a provision. Just like if I get up and go to work and write that mortgage check to provide the roof over our head. So men see it as very important because it's part of you taking care of me like I'm supposed to take care of you. But what happens is we became cavemen with our presentation of it, which turned you all off from it. So women don't want to hear on the first date, I want you to cook for me. Because who are you to tell me to cook for you? But what he should say is, part of one of my non-negotiables, maybe, or one of the things I desire, is a woman who thinks enough of me to say, I want to cook for you to make you feel good, because I know cooking really makes men feel what? That I care about you.
So my perception is, and I'm married, but my perception is that I totally understand where you all are coming from.
Yes.
But I also believe that within that is outliers. Where it's outliers, men that don't fit within that, and it's perfectly fine.
Outliers.
And my husband is one of those.
Right.
My husband is an awesome cook.
Gotcha.
Cooking is my husband's love language.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it.
And when we go through counseling, because we went through pre-marriage counseling, one of the things we had to do was set the expectation of our roles.
Correct.
And I went into the marriage counseling at first thinking my role is set to physical. Always physical. What can I physically do? Who's taking out the trash? Who's domestic? And I remember, he told us at the time, the minister told us, roles extend beyond that.
Correct.
And within me, I'm a communicator. My husband is not, right? We both need to communicate, but I took the role as the communicator with leading the communication with that, and that works for us.
Yes.
But in that process, I asked my husband, he loves to cook. Okay, how often do you want me to cook?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Do I
Yes.
need to cook? And he said, "Baby, this is what I love to do.
Yes.
Whenever you want, to get in, you can do it. But this is what I love to do."
Absolutely.
So with saying that, so with him, that's what his love language.
How often do you cook?
I can tell you last time I cooked probably was weeks and weeks ago.
If you tripled that, I guarantee you would have a different man.
But wait, you don't know the man that I have.
He guaranteed. He guaranteed.
I don't.
If you follow
You know, but then what you said,
What did you hear me say?
if I
Triple
that,
Uh-huh.
I'll have a different man.
Yeah,
And what does that mean? A different man how?
I said it. What did you hear me say?
That I would have a different man.
Why did you think I said that?
Because your belief is, with me cooking, that adds value to
So,
our marriage.
or he would see you do something different that you have never really done, and he would see even
So,
more. He would see even
So
more.
what would that cause him to do?
Because
No, you said he would do different.
So now he's seeing you operating in a different.
No, I'm saying, how would he see, how would his behavior change?
So I tell you how his behavior changed. The love that you will like for him, because you said you were therapy, right? That
No, we
means-
went to
Yeah.
premarital counseling. We're not in therapy now.
Okay,
I say this.
let's
try.
let Kara.
And then back with me.
I just want to say something in response to what she said.
Okay.
I believe that you date the person, then you date the gender, and then whatever. And what I mean by you date the person is that you date the specific person, whatever their personality and whatever, right? And so like you said, because I have a friend, he owns a restaurant, and he loves to cook. And he cooks the majority of the time in his household. And that's what he loves to do, and his wife doesn't really have to cook at all. I also know people who do the same, other men who do the same. Like me, I can't cook. So like if I'm living, I don't require anybody to cook. I'm not a caveman, but it does work for me if you know how, because I don't.
Yeah.
And so you have one of the guys who like to cook or whatever. And so in my opinion, Sherwood is saying does not really apply to you in your situation. he's not really calling your name because you have a specific type of man who likes to do a specific type of thing.
Absolutely.
And I think that for the most part, everybody, before you do anything, you date the specific type of person you're doing, what they like, what you like.
But you know what she addressed,
And
though,
so-
hold on.
And so
What
that's,
she
and that's
addressed
what
is
you're
the
doing. Yes.
generalizations that you
Right,
guys
right.
make.
And so, hold on. But the thing is that when we speak, and this is just my personal practice, unless I call your name or unless you feel like I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to you unless it applies to you.
But the
I'm
generalization,
not- it applies.
hold on.
But there's,
hold on,
because
hold
we
on.
can't,
Hold on.
we can't speak to every.
When I came up here, I asked
They gonna stop.
that question.
Listen.
I asked
No,
that question. I
but you
said,
can't speak to everybody specifically.
Hold on. So, what we start to get into is stereotypes. Because the generalization caused stereotypes. So I've walked down a whole lot of different streets and everywhere, all over the place. And I can see men look at me, because I might look a certain way that day, because I like to be fly. But anyway, I can see men look at me, you know, I can see men look at me a certain way, and I can see their brain say, oh, she high maintenance. And I've heard that from men after I've met them, because they will still come and talk to me. And then they say, I really thought you was gonna be different. I thought you was high maintenance. I thought you was this. I thought you was that. They have a perception because you guys create all these stereotypes about black women. But that doesn't mean that we're all the same way. But it happens all of the time. So when you're talking about, oh, cooking and cleaning, so a guy is gonna look at me and be like, oh, she high maintenance. She probably don't cook or clean. And I love to cook. And I have OCD. So I'm always clean. Right? So
She loves to cook and she's clean. She can cook.
right, but when men
I
see me,
ain't no man.
when they just see me, they don't ever, I don't get that look. They always think, oh, you high maintenance. They don't think I'm gonna cook nothing.
What's your name?
Veronica.
Veronica, I had the same experience, when I was married. I had a husband that cooked. So me cooking had no values for him because he was very passionate about it. He enjoyed it. And if I cooked, it was more like I took some of his shine away.
That's how
So
I feel.
everybody has a different
I want a
love
man who
language.
can cook.
Everybody has a different love
Don't
language.
cook.
Everybody has a different thought process. And surely rules don't apply to everyone.
First of all, it's not a rule.
But she said she wants to say.
Now, go ahead, please.
And then we're gonna wrap this segment up.
Let me translate as best I can, I think, for sure. I think what he was saying is that if you do something that is out of the ordinary, that extends a comfort level for you perhaps, like for me, like I said, I'm not a domestic guy, but if I start to cook and he knows I struggle with that, I'm showing him that I care for you enough that I'm willing to step outside of my personal comfort zone, my personal box, to do something that is important. Because it's something
Yes.
that is hard for me, but I love you enough to not worry about it being hard because I want you to know that I care for you and here's the way I'm showing.
He said triple the time she cooks. That's what he said.
But I want you to soften the translation.
No, I understood what he said.
No, I understood, but my perception is if we have to be able, we said earlier today, as adults, we have to be able to communicate what our needs are,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That my husband has communicated that that's not a need for him. What he wants me to do is making sure I'm keeping our household in prayer and covered. When he's making sure too that he can trust me, the integrity, my honesty. What he wants to make sure is that I'm loving his family, loving his mom, loving his parents. We're doing all that. I know what his value is that he put over me cooking. He has a lot more things that he puts over cooking. I'm not saying that cooking won't add value. I'm just saying there are some other things that I gotta put above cooking. Not saying that it won't, but there are a lot of things in our relationship that my husband has needs for that's much larger than cooking. Not saying that cooking won't add value. I'm not saying that, but I know there are other things that when he is tired and he does need me to fill in, I'm right there. But he cooks the majority of the time. But I understand my husband is tired.
So check this out. All I'm saying is that once you provide, and I said triple time, because you said weeks, triple time, and to reduce that, because you said weeks. And I said triple time that because then, therefore, guess what women and men are supposed to do in a relationship is help push them to another aspect of their life that they can work on and improve. Because if he spent his ass always in the kitchen, he ain't gonna have an opportunity to work on other things that you might like to see him do, that you might see him very much, that actually make him more of an individual.
But what happens if I spend all my time in the kitchen?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I never said that.
All I said.
I feel like Sherwood wants somebody for where he is now.
First of all, let me first of all say.
You want somebody for where you
No,
are right now?
let me first say.
Do you think
No, y'all get this all wrong. Sherwood is never coming to the table and say y'all need to cook it clean. I ain't never said that. It ain't never been a question. I ain't never dated nobody. It ain't never been a question that came to the table whether or not a person needs to cook or clean.
Okay, Sherwood, what age should people get married at? Necessary.
I think they should get married at a very early age in life.
Very early. What do you think? What age?
22, 23, 25.
23. You think that he got to
know what you want.
do a woman have
I
all
mean-
the skills?
I
of
mean-
your grandmother at 22?
You asked me a question. I made a
They don't
limit.
have all those skills.
Y'all asking me a question. I'm gonna answer. I picked up, let me tell you, I picked up a Betty Crocker book and I made a lemon meringue pie and a cherry chiffon cake at the age of 13.
Y'all season 1 has
I'm the
I'm
representation.
right on that.
I'm the representation.
That season don't know how to hug. I just heard y'all don't know how to hug. Y'all mean.
We hold our
She asked the question. I'm just
I just want to know. I'm just saying at 22, a woman does not have all the skills of your grandmother.
Okay, all right.
Because she just don't. Her grandmother got all the skills.
Thanks for tuning in. So let's talk about it with Xavier Fox. This is the face-to-face reunion. We have season 1 and season 2, and they are pretty passionate about it. Is everybody having a good time so far? Let's get it. All right, so one of our cast members, I believe, has to leave.
Yes.
So I want to get his question from the original show. What was the question you were called out, or you called my name?
Sure, it was about the independent black woman.
So what exactly did they say?
They were just like, why can't you men just basically accept that us women are strong, we matter, and part of that, we don't need you all.
And what did you originally say that made them call you out on that?
Because I said it's necessary that that you all, we need to be interdependent on each other. And that the reason why you're independent is because us men have not shown you that we can be reliable.
Okay, I agree with that.
Okay, first you agree with that, but second you have a problem.
Well, she just wanted me, I needed to come up to explain because she thought I was putting her down for being an independent woman. I believe it was Mia.
Oh,
And right. And so when
She's
I,
definitely an independent woman.
right, and so when I got up
She's an
there,
independent woman too.
yeah.
Matter of fact, this room is full of independent women.
I can cook and clean.
Right. And the thing is, and I think I explained in that show that I grew up with a single mom, right? And I had single aunties because they were in abusive relationships and end up being single. So it was out of necessity, not out of, oh, I'll wake up wanting to be an independent woman, right? And then I was going through a divorce during that time period too, right? And so fast forward, my daughter just turned 22 years old.
I was there.
She's on her way to Germany. She's going to get ready for medical school. But one of the things that I think I've instilled in Anaya is that being dependent on a man who shows that he will take care of you will never take away from your independence.
Right.
It will reinforce it. It would make you feel even stronger.
The right.
So what happened was, so let me add with Sherwood. When Anaya was 10 years old, I asked my mother, Mom, teach Anaya how to cook, right? And so I remember posting it on Facebook, and a lot of women were like, how dare you? And I was like, I did something wrong with telling my mom to tell my daughter to cook? Well, what does that mean? That Anaya is beautiful and brilliant, but if she doesn't cook, she's less than? And I said, I want my daughter to be eclectic. So I want her to know how to bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan.
And never let you forget you a man.
Absolutely. But that's
So she don't need a man.
Because listen, so that what happens is I'm parenting her from a male's perspective. So I have to let my daughter know, I have to let my child know that some of their expectations is going to come from a man, right? And I remember, let me share something with you all. One day I was working in my office and my daughter was vacuuming. And she said, Daddy, you know what? I can hardly wait till I grow up and become a doctor, and I won't ever have to clean up a house. I will hire a maid.
That's what she gonna do.
Absolutely. So then I said, Anaya, come and sit next to Daddy for a moment. I said, Anaya, get in front of this laptop, type up Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. So she typed up Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I said, do you recognize who he is? She said, no, really, Daddy, but they said he's an action star and he was the governor of California. Right. Now, Anaya, type up Maria Shriver. So she typed up, oh, that's his wife, Daddy. I said, is she pretty? Yes. And I said, she's from American royalty. She's a Kennedy. Now I said, Anaya, type up Mildred the maid. And when she typed up Mildred the maid, I said, Anaya, is she a pretty woman? She was like, she's okay, Daddy. I said, Anaya, Arnold Schwarzenegger cheated on Maria Shriver, American princess, with Mildred the maid. Oh my God! So the point is, you can be beautiful, you can be rich, you can be talented, but Mildred the maid took care of his children. Mildred the maid washed his underwear. And so he cheated on American princess with Mildred the unattractive maid and had a baby by her. And so, ladies, please listen to me because I'm on your side. I promise you I'm on your side.
Come on, bring it home.
So what I'm saying is, again, I want my daughter, who I'm raising, who's getting ready to go to medical school, who is strong, a Leo woman. But I also want her to know.
A Leo woman.
To be Mildred the maid.
I gotta use the bathroom. I need a bathroom.
I got a question. When he's finished, I got a question.
Right. So again, I just want her to be eclectic like Daddy is. Daddy, when he got divorced, I had to learn how to cook, and I became good at it. You all have been to my house. I think I got the cleanest house in South Holland because I know how to clean. But I go and work 2 jobs. So I'm an eclectic man. And right now, my daughter is a daughter who is well-rounded because that's what we should want for our children in the first place, to be well-rounded human beings. And I got plenty of female friends who got lambskin up and down the wall. They PhD and ED and everything, but then they tell me, like they tell Okira, I'm tired of being alone, Khalid.
Oh, they're gonna cheat on them too.
That because a woman are all these things that she's going to
That's not what he said.
But no, that's what he said. He said the women with the
That's
black.
not what he, that is not what he said.
But you said some, right? Can I finish? Can I finish? Listen, I promise I'm not scared of none of you fellas. Because listen, let me explain some of y'all. I promise I'm not afraid. It's a big sheepdog at the table. Who roof, okay? Let me finish. What I'm saying is, I understand when you say eclectic, what does that mean? What does that look like for you? You're saying that your daughter needs to be self-sufficient, being able to do all the things that's needed, right? That's what you mean. Okay. With saying that, you gave an example that she was Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife, was royalty and all of this. See, the problem is sometimes men will try to mistreat a strong woman being afraid of her strength instead of embrace it because we're powerful together.
Yeah.
And that will cause them to go find someone to cheat on her less than to knock her down from like the maid, because what he is saying, that was Arnold's insecurity.
Is that what you got from that?
Let me finish, Sherwood, because I see this happen just like I'm in psychology too.
Okay.
You know, I'm studying for my PhD in clinical psychology too. Understand this is not nothing. I've been married. I've been on the spectrum of everything.
Yeah.
I've been married. I've been single. I've been in all type of relationships. So I have a clear understanding of the totality of everything. So understand, just like women come to you guys, men, my sister attests to this. A lot of men come to me for advice. And I hear a lot of things. Sometimes some men cannot appreciate a strong woman unless he's a strong man to welcome that.
Yes.
A lot of men who come across a strong woman, they meet that as her value with them, which she is not, and they will purposely go cheat on her to make her feel like she's not as powerful, but it's not a power struggle. We together. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Absolutely.
And I get what you're saying. Because he understands.
Both parts are right.
And see, what I get what he's saying. He can be right. It's because we got to understand everybody have different perspectives. No one's thinking like me. No one's thinking like you. Do what's best to work for you. But I'm saying the whole problem of the resolve, to bring solution, we have to have an understanding. We can argue till we blue in the face, but we have to be honest. Again, I go back to my earlier statement. Men and women have to hold each other accountable. We never gonna be resolved because we gotta stop. Because to the point where Sherwood said he wants people to be domestic because they add value. So if a woman come out day one and say, "I need a man to pay my mortgage," she's gonna be deemed a gold digger. I'm not saying I do because I'm gonna pay for my own way, you know. And if God send me the next husband, that's fine too. I'm fine anywhere it goes. But what I'm saying is that whole generalization causes this negative thoughts that we have about each other because that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Sherwood. And I'm like I said, I'm not scared of none of you all. It's not the devil. I am not tapped out. So let's see.
I don't care. 3 minutes.
All right. I talk about the fact that men and women, don't get along and all the time on my page. But this is the question I do have. What is it okay for a man to expect from an independent woman? Because from listening to what everybody is saying is that we shouldn't have an expectation that they cook. We should not have an expectation that they clean. We shouldn't have an expectation that they do anything really domestic. But at the same time, these same independent women have many expectations of men. So what is it? I know women who make tons of money, who say they don't want to go 50-50 on mortgages or bills in the house. They, obviously we have to protect you. Obviously
What you protecting us from?
Huh? Will we protect you? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you. All right. So just.
I've been single for 3 years now.
I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. If you are in a relationship,
You got a gun.
Hold on, time out. No, hold on. If you are in a relationship, and me and you are in the house together, we are dating, and you hear a noise, who's going to see the noise?
At this point in my
I'm
life,
just,
I'm going.
no, 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 no. I didn't ask you.
I watched the movie, I ain't watched the movie.
I didn't ask you.
He just said that two people in the house. He said
There's two people.
He just said that. He just said that.
There's me.
We going to see
If there is
her.
me,
No,
hold on. I'm just asking. I'm asking. No, hold on. I'm asking a question. If me and you are in the house, me and my girl, me and whoever you, and there's a noise and you hear footsteps, who's going to investigate the noise?
My answer,
Oh my God.
my answer.
Oh my God.
Just answer the question. No, I'm not asking you about being single. I'm asking you about being in a relationship.
I'm not sitting my
I'm sorry, I gotta hear this.
My answer is the same as it was earlier. The two people in the relationship decide on the terms for their relationship.
I gotta go. I gotta do
There are women,
Okay, you know what?
there are some women.
Okay.
I'm respectful to you, sure.
I am good. I'm good. I don't have nothing else.
There are several women that date men that are smaller and weaker than them.
I'm good. I'm good.
And then
Okay, I just want to say one thing. We're gonna take a break after this, and then we'll come back with questions after this, because I think our panel. But I have a question for y'all. Hold on. So I got a question. So single women that own homes, we own homes. We have our, cameras at the door to see who at the door. We got all that stuff. It comes on and tells us what's going on out there and stuff. So as single women, when we are at home, if it's late at night, you got your little stuff hidden, so you can do stuff that don't nobody know that it's there. But if you're a single woman and you got a man, no, let me take it back. If you're a woman, if you have been a single woman and now you have a man, so when he is the front line, so even in the military, you got the front line, but you got people behind him. So are you really sending your man out there that you love? You sending him out there by himself? No, we got a few guns in the house, probably in different places, and I was married to a Marine, so this is how I think. We got guns in different places. If he go out there, I'm going too. Because if
Is he in front?
I'm not going
he in front. He in front.
Why he in front? Y'all so single. Y'all so single. Y'all so independent. Get your ass in the front. Get your ass in the front.
The male ego is not going to allow her.
Oh, are you serious? You so
He ain't gonna let her do it.
Are you serious?
He don't even know nothing. He out there like, and they're scared. I'm really scared. I wish she was out front, but I'm a man.
No.
Let him win.
All right. If that man jump out there in front of you, you not gonna love him later that night.
Sure.
All right, so we're gonna take a break right now because the panel needs a.
Let him win.
So we're gonna take a break right now, and we will be back in 2 and 2 or 5 and 5, but we'll be right back.
The point is a very simple.
So we are back. We took a little break, and a couple of our cast members had to check out for different reasons. You know, so this is a Saturday night in Chicago, so it's a whole lot of stuff going on. But I'm glad that you are here with us, and I'm glad that our studio audience is here with us. Yay! Thank you. All right. So we actually had a few questions that came in while we were listening to all of this stuff, so we didn't necessarily notice them, but we want to address the questions and comments that came in. So, Trinity, what's some of our questions and comments?
A comment, these are miserable men.
Can you please give the name of that one?
Don't give them no name.
I can scroll. I'm
Don't
controlling
give them
them.
no name. So what they say, these are miserable men.
They can't get a
You
word.
can't get a word in, and only women are miserable when they are single. However, when men are on their deathbed, they are alone. The women have people around them. So what do you guys think about being tagged as miserable, and why do you think people perceive you that way?
I think they was just talking about Kira. I don't think I was. And I think
I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I don't mind that somebody from outside may think that I'm miserable, because I know people who know me don't think that way. I was just stating what my observation is, and so I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna have somebody around me. I have a daughter who loves me. She'll be around me, and then I have like plenty. I have a niece. I have a nephew. I have friends. So yes, and so her kids love me. Everybody love me, so I'm gonna be good.
It was made mention that you seemed kind of angry. Do you know?
Wait a minute. I just heard y'all read it. I did not hear that.
But when Nicole was here, she said you seemed very angry. Has anyone else referred to you that way? Why do you think you are perceived as kind of angry? And he did say that the men are miserable, so they feel that you are miserable.
So, I'm not one to really fall into keyboard gangsters.
Keyboard gangsters.
And for that reason, I'm not miserable. I love myself. I've been a holistic personal trainer in this realm for actually 20 years now. It's 2024, maybe 21 years actually. So I'm very balanced. Sometimes I come with fire, but it's for purpose. Otherwise, I'm a great listener. And I think that if you feel that there's misery that you see, that's just an indication of what you might feel within yourself. And sometimes it's a projection. So I just say, listen to your perspectives, because there's some truth in what's being shared here. We're not here just to be able to express ourselves and let our emotions go. We're actually here because we're very much concerned, and we are bought into the movement here of being able to share some perspectives and thoughts. So, I hope that you can move toward that, because I will be looking forward, because I'm heavy like that at times.
Ladies, what do you think of the characterizations that conveyed of the men?
I feel that everyone has a perspective, but when you're looking at someone for 7 minutes or 10 minutes, to sit there and make that type of judgment about who they are as a whole individual is a little bit too far. And I think this society has gotten used to seeing little clips, little reels, and making whole life judgments about people, and that's wrong.
Okay, Tarita, your thoughts?
I chuckled because I thought during the break he had to come to Jesus' moment, but the devil just jumped in.
I did not clap. I was
So with that saying, it's like, just as we witness, and to your point, just as we witness, it doesn't feel good when men say that women are miserable, because when we project that upon them, they have an issue with it. So that's all we women have been saying. Don't judge us based on the generalization that you may have been exposed to, that you may be knowing, because everyone is not the same. Judge people, see people, not judge, period. See people as you get to know them without projecting what you think they could be or not be. That's my take on that.
And that's fair.
So I don't think the men are miserable. I wouldn't call any of them miserable. I think Sherwood has strong, I think he has strong opinions. You know, he has very strong opinions on what he wants and what he feels should be the standard. And I think that's where we come into that thinking he's miserable. But me knowing him as a person,
I just told you
I
they were
don't
talking about
think,
Akira. They were talking about me.
I think Akira just has to stop generalizing. You know, he's speaking for the general masses. He shouldn't do that.
Yes.
But I don't think either man, if you knew him personally or had a conversation with him outside of this podcast, you would think they were miserable.
Most definitely. He is not miserable. Even though he's saying that about women. There's some truth behind that, regardless of what
No,
you
it is
think.
not.
There are some miserable things.
Listen,
What's the next?
I'm not about to clarify.
Yes.
I'm good with
And
that.
so, Sherwood, he says, you aren't happy because you're taking shots and your tone is even argumentative.
Yes. So, and I'm very intentional with what I do. As I said with Khalid, man, I've been coming to conversations for relationships literally at least 30 years. And what I've seen is that we don't really get to solutions. And I'm so passionate about trying to help people to solve issues that I made it a lifestyle. This is what I do, actually, is to listen and help and support individuals and meet them where they're at. I have different phases of who I am at any time. I'm very intentional about being fiery. I'm very intentional about being combative because I want people to listen and I want them to think about different perspectives. And I'm gonna put some questions out there for you to think about whether you like it or not. Because you're listening to me, you have no other choice because the psyche is gonna kick in like that. So I know that already. So I'm gonna utilize that power that I have because I am an image of God and I'm gonna use all my godlike power that I can tap into.
Tell him.
That is your image of God right there. Okay. Let's see. Well, he said for the women, oh, I keep trying to do a touch screen. She told me not to do that. Let's see. Somebody said that most men don't know how to cook, but they eat a lot. And so they said most men aren't bringing the money home, but they want you to bring home the money, cook and clean.
Ooh,
So
I
do
know
you think
that's
that's the perception that you're putting out there, that you want a woman to cook and clean and bring home the money? I don't think they said it. I think that's somebody's personal experience.
If that's what they got for what I said, then that's really on them. All I asked was, as a man, what can you expect or what can you expect from a woman who's independent? It's not about whether or not, cook, clean, whatever, but it's what is it safe for us to expect from a woman who claims she's an independent woman? Because it appears from a lot of conversation that it's not okay to expect a woman to cook. It's not okay to expect a woman to clean, especially if she's working. So what is it? I mean, because, for a lot of men, you can't even expect sex. So if you are in but like if a woman feels like she's tired, you can't expect sex. So if you are for a man who is dating a woman who is an independent woman, what can I have an expectation for? Because I can't expect her to pay for the meal. I can't expect her to pay for whatever. So what is it safe for me to have an expectation for? That was my only question. And because it appears as if it's nothing that is safe for a man who is dating an independent woman to have an expectation for. Because everything that a man says that he may want or he may have an expectation for, he receives pushback from. This man said, clean, cook, domestic. There was a problem with it. If I say, hey, I want you to pay your half, there's a pushback. If I say, hey, I want you to pay some bills, there is a pushback. So what is it that you can have an expectation for? If I say, listen, I want you, I expect oral sex or whatever, there's a pushback for it. So what is it safe for me to have it? It appears, and hey, listen, if I'm wrong for this, or if there's a man who feels different, but the theme seems to be the only thing I can expect or I should be able to appreciate is the fact that she gives me her presence. Is that no, seriously, when you ask people, well, what is it that, what's your quality? What is it that that I'm going to get? Well, you should be happy that I'm here. And so my question is, that what if you're just here, what is it that makes you special? Because anybody could be here, and there is not a such thing as the prettiest person in the world. So the vast majority of people are average attractive. So what is it okay for a man to expect? What can I have an expectation for? Just your presence? Because what does that do? If it doesn't even have a promise of sex or cleaning or cooking or whatever, like, I can have anybody. Everybody thinks they're special, but you don't do anything that makes you special.
I'm almost afraid to just Sherwood.
No, I'm just asking. No, seriously. No, listen.
I'm gonna say this.
I'm just saying.
I'm very intentional about the skills. And all I'm saying is that it's just a skill. I didn't say you gotta utilize it every day. I can't say you gotta show it to me all the time. I'm just saying that there are basic skill level. All lions know how to go get food. All deers know what trees to eat from. All the other animals know how to take care of themselves. And unfortunately, we do live in a world, like I said, I've been doing this for a while, that there are people that I deal with all the time that do not know how to take care of themselves. And that adage that people say, that they hear, my people will perish because of lack of knowledge, is real. It's because they lack the abilities and the skills to just basically take care of themselves. And for that reason, they perish. And I've seen them. I've been at people's deathbeds. I've been called in to help people on their deathbeds, and I can't do anything. Why? Because they didn't utilize the information or the knowledge, or no one told them how to take care of themselves. So yes, I'm very passionate about these skills that you need to have, because it's going to help those around you and even yourself.
And I just want to be clear, because now, there's going to be a whole, Asian said, I'm just asking the question. Ladies, you can answer the question. Is that...
I think you have what your expectations are. I mean, that's your expectations, and you should honor, your expectation, not based off of whoever you're saying. I don't know who you're saying that don't agree with what you're saying, but I don't know a woman to say, what you're saying is accurate. As a man, even me, if you're saying a woman is saying, oh, we're married, we're in a relationship, I'm not gonna sleep with you, I'm not gonna cook, I'm not gonna clean, I wouldn't want her either. But I wouldn't want her either. But I don't think that's the total picture. But everything that you just said, though, if that is what is being brought to the table, I agree 1,000,000%.
Take it.
What I'm saying is, I do think that it's a bigger picture than that. But what you just described, you have a right not to want that.
Just to be clear, I'm gonna be clear about one more thing. All right. This is not my personal struggle.
Here we go.
No, honestly, this is not my personal struggle, because I do a very good job at choosing. So I choose. If you don't have what I want, I choose different.
Well, you
So-
need to tell
so-
whoever story
right,
this
so-
is to choose.
But
what
no, yeah. So that's all I'm saying. Is that I just see that like there's a lot of pushback. Generally speaking.
What do you ladies think about the conversation?
See, yeah, now I think when we're coming to meet different individuals, we shouldn't really have an expectation without getting to know someone. Now you can have I understand what you mean, this certain expectation, because as we were talking all night, there's no perfect anyone. And as you get to know someone, your expectations may change. You know, your choices may change, but you did hit a point that I do agree with. It's how you choose is what you're going to determine what you put up. Because my non-negotiables may not be non-negotiables. It could be different. You can accept some things that I won't. Now, for an example, cheating is my non-negotiable because if you're gonna cheat, bye, I'm good. You know what I mean? Go out there and find what you need. But some people, they don't mind being cheated on. You know, and it is. No. Let me explain, because as I said, like he's saying, he has indirect experiences. I do. It's a lot of women that they will put up with what their man do because of the money that he provides and the lifestyle that he gives them, and they don't mind. They turn a blind eye
That's two
to it.
different things.
I say it like, but I'm saying some people don't mind because, again, the examples that I'm using, you cheat on me, I'm out. Go ahead. I'm gonna get out the way because 3, I'm not shaving off my edges to fit in your circle. So good night, good day. Do what's good for you. So what I'm saying is it's dependent upon what your non-negotiables are, what yours are. You said she has to cook. You're searching for a perfect person.
I never said that. I keep saying I never said that.
I'm not giving them a hard time. But what I'm saying, be understanding and supportive. People don't mind trying to fulfill whatever it is that you seek, but are you supportive enough? That's all I'm saying there, Kiri. Because you come and saying, I have an expectation for this. But what if her expectations don't meet yours? Then what happens?
I never.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. I never said what an expectation. No, I never said what an expectation was.
You have any comments on that?
I didn't.
No.
I asked. No. I never asked. I need you.
They said, what did they say?
I would like for people to listen to what I
They
said.
said most men aren't bringing the money home, but they want you to bring home the money.
If you are meeting with men that they only want you to do, bring home the bacon, frying up in the pan, and give the romance, and they're not bringing anything to the table, and you choose that man, that's on
Thank you.
you.
That's
That's
your choice.
on you. Because if that's not what you want from a man, there are a million more men out here. So you can't blame a man for what he wants. Blame yourself for what you chose.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you very much. Because the reality is that if you do not want to if you don't want to have or take the responsibility for your choices, and so if you choose somebody and you are fully aware of whatever it is that they bring to the table, then you have to accept the consequences of your choices. And I am sorry, but there are people who do not want to do that. They will sit up here, they will choose a person who has made something clear to them, and then a month or a year or whatever, be mad at the person for what they chose. And so that's the issue. Accept the consequences of your choices.
As far as, I can't relate, I ain't gonna even lie, because my husband is a provider, so I can't relate to somebody who only want the wife to bring something. Now, I can say I can stand on my own, and can I provide a lifestyle that my husband provides for me? I can provide it on my own, but that's not what I want. So you'll never see me run around saying I'm a strong, independent Black woman that don't need a man, because that's just not my reality. Because I need my husband, I need him for the purpose of my kids to help me raise them. And I need them for my grandchildren. I need it for our legacy. So there's so much deeper than what I need him for. So you'll never hear me saying that phrase, but again, can I provide the same lifestyle? Absolutely, but I would never run around and say, I'm a strong black woman.
I love that. We all want to say that. That's what we all want to say. But when you in this day and time with what was that dude, Kevin Samuels or something, whatever,
Kevin Samuels,
with
nice.
all of that stuff going on, now it seems like a lot of our men's minds, and it's not just the young ones, even though his demographic was 30
and up.
18, 35, whatever it was. But even though a lot of them in my age group were not in that demographic, but they were somehow affected by it. So now they all got that craziness going on.
Maybe we have a conversation about him since y'all like.
I said that one time.
No, somebody else brought him up.
I said, we're not a Kevin somebody. That's what I said.
Let me see if there's something else on here. Let me see what else.
You ain't gonna get our 22. It's just not gonna.
Okay. All right. So that was our last comment from there that I want to address. Does the audience have any questions or comments they want to get in before we end?
Xavier, can I say something?
You sure can.
I
Final words, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Oh, goodness, okay. I want to say this to the ladies. My stepson said something that really disturbed me, but I could not negate his truth. When he dated women that looked like us, and he's, in his mid-20s now, there was always so much drama, so much negativity, so much reality TV type of lifestyle. And he's not that type of person. So he started dating someone out the race. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but we have to, as women, really look in the mirror, see who we are, see how we are projecting ourselves to be, and then make a decision, because all of it is not the men. We have to be honest about that. I'm so tired of seeing young girls out here behaving, by my definition, badly, but then you're mad when he calls you a thought. But you out here with your butt hanging out, with your breasts hanging out, talking about how many dudes, what is the phrase that they use?
Body count.
Your body count on the public transportation. Because my mother told me about it, and she was like, "What's a body count?" I was ashamed to have to tell her. But then you're mad when that's how they operate with you, that you're nothing but a cum dump. So now, when you get blown up like that, you gotta respect that that's how you came. And that's just real. And on the flip side, we need men, real men. I'm not talking about over 21 folks. I'm talking about men to teach younger men what it is to be a man. Because we don't want to have this conversation. I have a son. I didn't raise him to be a man, though, because I'm not a man. I raised him to be a decent human being. There has to be men to step in to do that job, and then to distinguish for those young men, who are you really wanting to spend the rest of your life with? The chick with the high body count, who's, around the way Becky, or a woman that has a plan, a vision that is similar to yours. We have to get back into retraining, and it can't be a negative when we look at it like that. We have to change the perspective, because if not, generationally speaking, we are destroyed.
All right. All right, O'Carey, your final thoughts and words?
Generally speaking, I am an equal opportunity shot taker.
Shot taker?
Yes, I am. I take, for years, I take shots at men, I take shots at women. Depends on who I think is right or who I think is wrong, or whatever my opinion is at the time. And so, I think that the situation we are in now is probably 65, 70% male as well. We have created the monsters that we have in some women today. I won't deny that. That is the reality. We have lived a life where we did what we did, and now women are fed up, and now they decide to take part in our behavior. The reality is that, ladies, you do take part in our behavior, and that a lot of you have become self-absorbed in the same way that men are self-absorbed, and that we all have plenty of opportunity to make improvements. And when I had the conversation about, whether or not, women need men, men need women, the reality is that we have gotten to the point where we don't feel like we need each other. And that is the reason why we are in the dire straits that we are now, is because we do not act like we need each other. And so we stay at each other's throats. It is constant toxicity. It is, I need this and he needs that or whatever, and we are at it, and our culture is suffering. And so y'all might not like what I say, but we do need each other in order to be healthy and to have relationships and to grow and to raise good, productive citizens. And even though you may not have gotten that from me today, for whatever reason, that is what I actually care about, is that for us to have healthy, productive relationships, and we need each other, and we are interdependent of each other, and the more we sit here and we act like we don't, the worse we are off.
All right. Serena?
Yeah, you know what, Akira, I'm so glad that you said that, and my final thoughts are, we do have to get, I think what's happened in translation, we stop having love and respect for one another, because when you love and respect each other, we treat each other differently. And if we got to get out of the space where men and women, yes, and I'm talking to my community, and guys, you can't go outside and look for an answer in another race and think just because it's quiet that it's better, because it could be a silent threat that men will come to know once they go in. We all know the white women tears, and I'm not going to take it there, and how they weaponize that. But what I will say is, we got to get out of that, what a body count is, because she couldn't have a high level if man was a dove in it. So some sense of attraction was there, because why would you want to go behind someone? You want to hit it because 10 others hit it. You should say, hey, where does the level of love and respect come from? I want us to get back to the point of stop calling them a low man, a low woman, and all of that. Let's get to the point where we love one another, we respect each other, because when you have a love for self and a love for one another, how I treat you will matter. When I don't care for you and I don't care for myself, I'm crying out. A lot of times people always want to say, well, she's a prostitute, he's a crackhead, but what led them to the crack? What led her to prostitution? It's so much trauma that comes from childhood that people are crying out. When people say that they have a body count, and we glorify those things, and we stop looking at that as being a glorified, you want her, you say you want the thought, you want the BBL, you want the shoulder skin, you want all those things, but if you respect, it's not, me and my family, we have this conversation all the time. You will never hear another race talk about they women the way that black men and women talk about each other, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. You are a queen, you are a king, and when we get back to loving each other and talking to each other, having empathy and understanding of one another, then resolution can come in, and then we can heal as a community. That was
Uh-oh.
Yes.
I should sit down.
And I could say a whole lot, but I'm actually gonna keep it pretty short, I believe, because
You believe that?
I believe I will. I want you to always look into the mirror and reflect. Look at yourself and see where you're at today and see where you were at 10 years ago. And think about where you want to be 10 years from now. If you can actually be honest with yourself and reflect, accept, assume the accountabilities of the mistakes that you made, praise all the accomplishments that you have achieved, and look forward to do better. I truly feel that people are very much optimistic, and I feel that if they know better, that they would do better. So with that, golden rule is to love yourself first and foremost, and that should be seen. That's the expectation I have of you, and I have that you look at yourself and see the God within, and know that you were made for a purpose. And if you are not utilizing your God-like powers to be able to transform yourself and to be able to affect those that are around you, you are purposeless. And now we just, and therefore you just breathing air. So for that reason, I say that we need to wake up because we are in an age of information. We need to get smarter. We need to acknowledge through time what history has told us, and we need to stop lying to ourselves every day. Take a real good look and be honest and be able to accept, shed those tears, laugh. But do know that you have a choice of what you do the next day, as if you want to be a person that's trying to make a transformation or not. It's all up to you. But regardless of what you do, you ain't gonna stop my son. Be you. I don't care if you don't like it, because I know you're gonna look.
This is what this is.
Okay, see, I was agreeing
I'm
with
gonna
Sherwood.
pass the mic on.
Okay, thank you.
But my last thought was,
Oh, God, no.
women, you got the power.
So I agree with Sherwood on a lot of things he said. A lot of times people don't know their why. And when you don't know your bigger why, you can't get to whatever goal you're trying to get to. So if that's a goal in a relationship, why? You know, why? Knowing your why will help you form habits and make choices to get you there. And I would say that's my biggest thing I leave with people. Know your why for everything. If you know your why, you'll make the choices. When you come up across things as, I don't want to cook, or this person can't cook, you know, you got to know your why. Okay, and if that's your why, then you stick with your why, you go with your why, and you keep on. But then I think that'll help you eliminate, Sherwood, and help you, hopefully you'll come to wherever you're trying to get. But just know your why. Just know. Choices and get to your ultimate goal. And then be the balance. In every situation, be the balance. My mom has challenged us to do that since we were kids. And so in every situation, I try to be the balance. And so that's what I want you guys with.
All right, everyone, I want to thank you all for tuning in to Let's Talk About It with Xavier Fox. I hope that you have had as much fun as I have had, because yesterday is my birthday, so this is part of my birthday celebration. And we did the face-to-face reunion, which is something I've been trying to do for a few years, because Sherwood has been in my inbox telling me we need to do a reunion. So we finally got it done, okay? And we had a great time doing it. So make sure that you catch us on every third Saturday. We go live. And every fourth Friday, we are live with Girl Talk Plus One. On the third Saturdays, we have Khalid, who we saw earlier, and Inyatu, and we talk about relationships as well then. And Girl Talk, sometimes this is just for women, but we also do a Girl Talk Plus One on the fourth Friday. We film all of this stuff where we stream. See, I'm old school. I said film. We don't film it. We stream it live. Okay, and we have one gentleman that asked 4 women 4 questions, and that gets pretty interesting as well. So make sure that you visit Xfox Entertainment, which is our Instagram, and then our YouTube is Xfox in the Box. So make sure that you check us out. Join me on Xavier Fox Media and Events on Facebook. And is that it? That's it?
When I'm gonna be on your show?
Oh,
God, no, I'm just kidding.
That's going on.
I'm stuck.